Alright, what's up, yins guys? Today we're gonna read a little adventure out of 1st Enoch, and this is about when the Nephilim came down. This is actually, very little is said in the book of Genesis in the King James Bible about this, but the book of Jubilees also talks about Enoch and the Nephilim in great detail. So after reading this part, I might try to reference the part of Jubilees in this video, but see how much time I got left, or else I might have to put it into a separate video. But anyway, we're gonna get started in the reading. Okay, I'm gonna start here right now. It says, "And it came to pass when the sons of men had increased in those days, there were born to them fair and beautiful daughters. And the angels and the sons of heaven saw them and desired them, and they said to one another, Come, let us choose for ourselves wives from the children of men. Let us beget ourselves children. And Semyaziah, who was their leader, said to them, I fear that you may not wish this deed to be done, that I alone may pay for this great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us swear an oath, and bind one another with curses, not to alter this plan, but to carry out this plan effectively. Then they swore together and bound one another with curses to it. And they were all in 200, and they came down on Ardis, which is in the summit of Mount Hermon, also called Mount Armon. And they called the Mount Hermon because on it they swore and bound another with curses. And these are the names of their leaders." There's a small list here. Semyaziah, who was their leader, Rakaba, Ramiel, Kokabio, Tamiel, Ramiel, Daniel, Barakio, and a bunch of others. There's a few skipped out, I guess, because in the scrolls it must have been unreadable. So there's like tiny numbers right by the names of the angels in the book. And then down here in italics it says, like when they found the scrolls, there must have been names missing. But anyway, skip all those names. No sense discussing them all day. You know, it's just it's a bunch of names. Anyway, these are the leaders of the 200 angels and all the others with them. And they took wives for themselves, and everyone chose for himself one each. And they began to go into them and be promiscuous with them. And they taught them charms and spells, and showed them the cutting of roots and trees. And they became pregnant and bore large giants. I think in another story, probably in Jubilees, I think I seen it, or else in other versions of stories, that you couldn't. If they get pregnant and bear giants just like that, I mean, that's going to be impossible. They started out as babies, normal-sized babies, and they obviously grew into big giants. And they become pregnant and bore large giants. In other words, babies that grew later after they were born big. And their height was 3,000 cubits. Probably an exaggeration. But then there's some other kind of stories like metaphysical, that I can go on about. You can go all day about. But anyway, there's more to that if you would read other stuff out there. But anyway, they devoured all the toil of men until men were unable to sustain them, and the giants turned against them in order to devour men. And they began to sin against birds and against animals and against reptiles and against fish, and they devoured one another's flesh and drank the blood from it. Then the earth complained about the lawless ones. And here we go to the next chapter. And Azazel taught men to make swords and daggers and shields and breastplates. And he showed them the things after these, and the art of making them, bracelets and ornaments, and the art of making up the eyes, and of beautifying the eyelids, and the most precious of choice stones, and all kinds of colored dyes. And the world was changed, And there was great impiety and much fornication, and they went astray, and all their ways became corrupt. Amazarek taught all those who cast spells and cut roots, Amoros the release of spells, and Barakio astrologers, and Kokabio portents, probably spells I believe, or some other kind of magic potions or something probably. I'd have to look that up. And Tamiel taught astrology, and Azrael taught the path of the moon. Oop, am I skipping something? Azrael. And at the destruction of men they cried out, and the voices reached heaven. Then Michael, Gabriel, Suriel, and Uriel looked down from heaven and saw the mass of blood that was being shed on the earth, and all the iniquity that was being done on the earth. And they said to one another, Let the devastated cry out with the sound of the cries unto the gate of heaven. And now to you, O holy ones of heaven, the souls of men complain, saying, Bring our suit before the Most High. And they said, Let the Lord, the King, Lord of lords, God of God, King of kings, your glorious throne endures for all generations of the world, and your name is holy and praised for all generations of the world, and blessed and praised. You have made everything, and power over everything is yours, and everything is uncovered and open before you. And you see everything, and there is nothing that can be hidden from you. See then what Azazel has done, how he has taught all the iniquity on the earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were made in heaven. And Semiziah made known spells, he whom you gave authority to rule over those with him. And they went into the daughters of men together, and they lay with these women, and became unclean, and revealed to them these sins. And the women bore giants, and thereby the whole earth was filled with blood and iniquity. And now, behold, the souls which have cried out and complained unto the gates of heaven, and their lament was ascended, and they cannot go out in the face of iniquity which is being committed on the earth. And you know everything before it happens, and you know this and that, and what concerns each of them, but you say nothing to us. And then the Most High, the Great Holy One, spoke and sent Arcelius, how do I pronounce that one? Arcelius, that word's a mouthful, I can't even pronounce one, to the son of Lamech, and he said to him, Say to him in my name, Hide yourself, and reveal to him the end which is coming. For the whole earth will be destroyed, and a deluge is about to come on all over the earth, and what is in it will be destroyed. And now teach him that he may escape, and that his offspring may survive for the whole earth. And further the Lord said to Raphael, Bind Azazel by his hands and his feet, and throw him into the darkness, and split open the desert which is in Dudeo, and throw him there, and throw on him jagged and sharp stones, and cover him with darkness, and let him stay there forever. Cover his face, and he may not see light, and that on the great day of judgment he may be hurled into the fire. And restore the earth which the angels have ruined, and announce the restoration of the earth. For I shall restore the earth, so that all the sons of men shall, so that not all the sons of men shall be destroyed through the mystery of everything, which the watchers made known and taught to their sons. And the whole earth has been ruined by the teaching The whole earth has been ruined by the teaching and the works of Azazel, and against him write down all sin. And the Lord said to Gabriel, Proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the sons of the fornicators, and destroy the sons of the fornicators and the sons of the watchers from amongst men. And send them out, and send them against one another. Let them destroy themselves in battle, for they will not have length of days. and they will all petition you, but their fathers will gain nothing. But their fathers will gain nothing in respect of them, for they hope for eternal life, and that each of them will live life for 500 years. And the Lord said to Michael, Go, inform Semyaziah and the others with him, who have associated with the women, to corrupt themselves with them all their uncleanness, when all their sons kill each other, and when they see the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them for 70 generations under the hills of the earth, until the day of their judgment and their consummation, until the judgment which is for all eternity is accomplished. And in those days they will lead them to the abyss of fire, in torment and in prison, and they will shut up for all eternity, and they will be shut up for all eternity, and let them be, and then, and then he will be burnt, and from then on destroyed with them. Together they will be bound until the end of all generations, and destroy all the souls of lust and the sons of the watchers, for they have wronged men. Destroy all the wrong from the face of the earth, and every evil work will cease, and let the plant of righteousness and truth appear. And the deed will become a blessing. Righteousness and truth will they plant and enjoy forever. And now all the righteous will be humble, and they will live until they beget thousands, and all the days of their youth and Sabbaths they will fulfill in peace. And in those days the whole earth will be tilled in righteousness, and all of it will be planted with trees. It will be filled with blessing, and the pleasant trees they will be planted on it, and they will plant on it vines, and the vine which is planted on it will produce fruit in abundance, and they will seed which is sown on it will produce 1,000 measure of olives, and will produce 10 baths of oil. And you will cleanse the earth from all wrong, and all iniquity, and all sin, and all impiety, and all the uncleanness which is brought about on the earth. Remove them from the earth. All of the sons of men shall be righteous, and all the nations will serve and bless me, and shall worship me, and the earth will be cleansed of all corruption, and from all sin, and all wrath, and all torment, and I will not again send the flood upon it for all generations forever. Alright, I'm gonna split this into another video. In the next video, we're gonna read about the Nephilim, Azazel, and the whole group there. They're gonna ask Enoch to petition on behalf of them for forgiveness, and but it's gonna be too late, of course. But they're gonna beg forgiveness for all their all they caused, but it's gonna be pretty much too late for them. And also in there, Enoch is gonna be talking about, which was one of my guesses about heaven and hell. I don't want to ruin it just yet, but I'm gonna just brief you a little bit. In the next chapter, we're gonna talk about hell isn't just like a burning hell. Supposedly there's going to be ice prisons there, and angels that are very mean and with weapons that beat the crap out of you. It's almost like a gulag of some kind, almost like the gulags that you have in some of these other countries on the earth here right now. I saw a documentary one time on YouTube, somebody put on YouTube about the Russian gulags. But anyway, Enoch says that he saw a place that people can be sent to, like maybe corrupt kings and officials and leaders and people who have done really wrong things. And supposedly there's like columns of fire, but then there's ice prisons, and there's these angels that'll be prison guards that are going to be mean as hell and have weapons, and stuff like that. So anyway, stay tuned for that. I'm going to end this video right here.